Okay, so this is like a little test just to test my audio works and everything. Looks good. And I'm going to try to make a run of videos to do with drawing out the diagrams that we need for these exams over here, the auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2, gender engineering, all that stuff, or like the marine diesel stuff. Lots of people keep asking me to do the diagrams, so we need some quick, easy, but accurate diagrams. And I really think the best way to show this is in a video, because you've got to build it up. I mean, I can just show you the diagram, but I think maybe getting the sketch lines in there, I don't know. The explanation as we go through it as well might help to clear up the differences between the different types of valves. I'm going to be doing a gate valve today, but there's a little bit confusion between a gate valve, butterfly valve, and plug valves and all that. So we're going to have a look at the differences between them, the similarities as well, I suppose. But let's try to draw a gate valve. I do have a gate valve on the website. You guys can't actually access this. I haven't made it public just yet. I put these 3D models up a little while ago to help us out, and I'll make them public so you can have a look at them. And this is a gate valve. It may not be the best diagram or best 3D model because it has nothing on the inside, and we really want to see the exploded version of it. So I didn't make it public. Also, not sure this is really a gate valve, really, because it looks like one. But the idea of a gate valve is you turn the handle and it will lift up a gate inside of here. And well, we can't see a gate inside, so that's pretty bad. And also, is there enough space for the gate to even rise? That's my question really in this model. Not sure it's a very accurate model. So I could look around and find a slightly better one. Here's another one, looking at CAD drawings online. And this one's a little bit better. You can actually see it has a gate inside of it. There he is, a little gate plate. I can remove the outside so we can see that, but it's literally just, you can see it highlighted there. That will be the gate plate. If I can, I don't know, isolate that guy. There he is. Yeah, okay, right. Why not? Yeah, why is it not that shape that it could be? And you can see what's going to happen is as this is a new pneumatically actuated gate valve, I think. So as the pneumatic actuator actuates, it's going to pull up this plate upwards, the gate up and down inside its little housing there to stop the flow of the liquid, of the fluid, and to allow the flow again to pass through. If we go online and just quickly Google one, I can find quite a few. I'm going to pick out this one. I'm going to basically copy this for my diagram, but we'll try and do it reasonably quickly as well. So here's a cross section. In the exam, it does say draw cross sections. And what do you mean by cross section? Do you mean cross section going longitude or latitude, like across it, or which cross section? Obviously, you've got two different types of cross section. I think we're going to do it like this. We're just going to cut it across so we can see the pipe work and everything. And the question is, how do you draw this reasonably accurately, reasonably quickly for in the exam time? So let's see if we can do that for a gate valve. I'll leave that guy just on the side. It looks like, this is the same when I was looking on the website, basically, that this has just enough space to lift the gate up and nothing else. There's differences between rising stem and not rising stem, and we can go into that a little bit later. But the questions don't really ask that on the paper. It's just draw them, right? So I'm going to be using sketch lines. Of course, I am doing this on a computer and not by hand. So maybe I got some advantages. I can erase things, delete things, rub things out a little bit easier. And also, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be cheating a little bit by doing it like this. Doing it by hand is going to be maybe a little bit harder. I'm going to draw the pipe work in to start with. So here's my pipe work. This is the flow of liquid. We'll go through here. And then we're going to draw the valve body on there. Just to give me some guidelines to work with. I suppose using a ruler on all this, and it could make it a little bit neater, couldn't I? Let's get some grid lines on here. Maybe that'll make life a little bit easier. Oh, I don't know. I like it without. Okay, let's just keep it like that. Okay, I'm going to draw the pipe work here, and then the valve body. This will give me space to put all the valve inside of there. And as I was talking about earlier, we want to be able to put a gate in here, and the gate has to have space to be lifted up and put back down again. Maybe I can make this a little bit thinner, maybe. Again, cheating. This is just my guidelines, something like that. Let's get the gate in there if we can. So the gate will have to block this whole section off. So I suppose it wants to be a bit wider, a bit longer than the pipework itself, right? So it's going to be able to be lifted up there. I want to make sure there's enough space for it to actually be completely removed. Maybe that will be okay. And then put it back down again so completely block the flow. Also, yeah, I want to make sure that Let's make this a bit thinner because it wants to be quite tight around that gate. I suppose I could make the gate a bit thicker. Also, we might even make the gate tapered so it looks a bit like a plug. And this is what I'm saying about people having confusion between plugs and gates. This is a side-on view, and we're literally just drawing that disc that you saw earlier. This is the disc. This is the gate here, and we're going to lift it up. How we're going to lift it up is by having a stem to it. So this is going to rotate. We're going to spin this around so we can draw this on. I think that should be fine. And we could put the wheel on top as well, so we can hand crank it, like in this example here, or we could put a pneumatic actuator on there as well, depending what the question is asking for. So I'm going to lock all these guys together on my diagram because I can, just to show you what's going on. So as we crank the wheel, the whole thing is going to be lifted up. That will remove the gate from the flow of the fluid, and you can see it will pass through there quite easily, and then we can crank it back down again. Like this. This is the basic idea. We can embellish the diagram with some packing, some gland packing, obviously around the seals and things like that. And this so far is not quite a very tight fit, but it's the basic idea. And like I said, I'm trying to get this done quickly in the exam time. So now with a dark pencil, I'm going to go over this a bit thicker, a bit darker, to draw in the solid lines basically around the outside. So this will be the body of the valve, and let's do that on the base as well. It looks like we've got quite a large gap there at the bottom of the gate. Gonna have to close that up a little bit. I made it a bit too big, I think. Okay, but this will be and then we can, that would be the body, and then we're gonna do the body pipe work, or the body work here has to incorporate this this gate, and the gate has to be, well, there's two different types of gate actually. We can have a solid gate, like in this one I think is being shown, or we can have a gate that has two different parts. Oh, look at that, they do not have a rising handle on theirs. Their gate actually cranks up inside, and look at that. Interesting. There's a few different designs, and we just need one design, right? We don't need to be too fancy about this. I'm going to make it a tapered gate, so it fits nicely and snugly into this, into the packing here. So I'm going to draw some diagonal lines in here so it fits in nicely. So how can I do that easily? Again, I get my sketch lines out here. Let's make these like quite soft, and then I'll maybe make them another color just so we can see them a little bit clearer, so we can tell what's what. Again, you can't do this, you got to do all one color, but it's just for demonstration purposes. So this will be the pipe work right here, and if I draw like a diagonal line going down, we can make, yeah, I want it to be reasonably accurate. That should give us a little tapered space to build into. So let's go ahead and finish off the pipe work around here, the outer, the strong lines, the thick lines, and this should sit down into the seat right here. There we go, nice. That looks pretty good. Let me just grab that and extend that line out a little bit more. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Not quite all lined up. And then I think I'm also going to, I mean, come on, I'm nitpicking, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to change the shape of the actual gate, because so far it's a rectangular gate, and those blue lines, I think I'm going to add those onto it. So obviously I can't move this in real life when we're doing the drawing, so what are we going to do there is, I guess we just add it all together, just connect it all together. Let's see if we can do that. And then I think we'll be almost done on it. And then we just got to label it all up, I suppose. So, oh, I didn't do this bit here as well. This needs to be a bit tighter, because this is a good seal. I can see around the base, you know, the liquid can't pass through that bit, but I want to do a similar thing on top. So I think I put this a little bit too low. I think my gate is sitting a bit too low, or I could bring this one further down, which is going to mess everything up. So I'm just going to bring this up a bit, so we've got a slightly tighter seal in there. Like I said, this is the first video we're doing on the series, so there we go, looking a bit better. Okay, that should provide a tighter fitting here. Looking good. All right. Okay, and then let's just draw the rest of the housing. There we go. And I think I can remove a lot of those sketch lines as well, because there's quite a lot of stuff going on here. All these construction lines, we can either do them a lot lighter. Oh, I tell you what, I'll just lighten them up a lot which is almost like, erasing them. Let's see if we can make them very, very light so they don't really get in the way. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Um, if I was good about it, I could actually lock all this stuff together, and we could see what's happening as we crank the wheel. It's going to lift the gate up. There's blue lines I want to be part of the gate as well, but I got so many bits on here. Ignore my little drawings here. Let's see if we can get all this together. Uh, that should do it. So we lift the gate up, almost, and then we put it back in place. Yeah, I mean, it has to be a static drawing, right? It doesn't have to move like mine. So, okay, I think that's okay. I think that'll do as a basic design. We're going to embellish it a little bit now. We're going to add some extra. We're going to add some basic labeling on it, like all this stuff, like stem, gate, and all that. So we better do that. And then I might add a bit more. Like it hasn't got any packing around the stem, which is also going to have a screw thread on it, really, on my one, to pull it up and push it back down again. So let's just do the basic stuff. And we'll actually have a look at that. We should actually check the question for the exam to see how much detail we have to do on this. So hand wheel, in my case, gate, body or pipework, because I'm talking about this stuff here. What do they call it here? They just call it body, and the top bit there is the bonnet. Yeah, okay. So this is body, and then this part with all the gubbins in it, or the bit you can take apart here with all the gland packing would be around there as well, wouldn't it? Or this could be gland packing, or on top we could put a separate packing on top, depending on how they've done it. Depends on the design, I suppose. So let's call this the bonnet. And that's the basic. Do we need anything else? Oh, we should show the flow, the direction of flow of the liquid. So, or the fluid is going to come in here, of course, like this. We could add a bit more information, like the hand wheel can be rotated, and that we could put a screw thread on this part here as well, I suppose. So it can be lifted. Oh, we should definitely name that guy. That's the stem, isn't it? Stem as well. Okay, that's looking pretty basic, pretty much there. And then anything else we want to add will be extra details later on. But I know you guys are looking for quick, simple diagrams, so I think that is a gate valve there. All right.